Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Hoyt, political candidate for Vermont State Rep in Bennington District 2-1. Over the next few days I want to make a couple political rants right up until election, and I can't think of a better place to start than opioids, the opioid epidemic. Again, I think this is the biggest problem that we face as Vermonters, as a nation, and even the world. This is a world pandemic. Worst pandemic that's ever hit this world in history. Literally more kids are dying today than they did from the Black Plague. Here in Bennington, we're averaging an overdose a day. I think we've had 35 in the last 30 days. How many of our friends and neighbors and loved ones really need to die before we do something? I hear my political opponents and a lot of other people talk about wanting to help and talking about doing stuff, but I think it's time to stop talking. I've got a policy plan that, again, will never cure it, but I think it'll take the edge off of it and we can start reducing these numbers and go in a different direction. The war on drugs does not work. We've lost it. So I'd like to try something new. I'd love to follow Portugal, and that's my plan if elected. Portugal 15 or 16 years ago, because of they had a couple epidemics. Number one, the overdose epidemic, but Hep C and HIV also reach epidemic proportions. So they were forced to change. So they've got a policy that decriminalizes and regulates all drugs. Sounded kind of crazy to me at first too. To put that in perspective, I think the only real change is we treat these people as a sick part of society rather than a criminal part of society. So it relieves stress on our EMS, on our law enforcement, on our overstocked prisons. The difference for, say, Officer Doucette would be when he Narcans someone, we don't just let that person go. Now that warrants mandated rehab. We're going to send these people to long-term care, and we're going to get them help. Now if you're an addict, there's millions and millions of people out there that suffer. You can actually go and get help. When you say I need help, we'll have beds for you. I want to have job training. I want to have housing. And everybody comes back and says, who's going to pay for all this, Kevin? Well, it's simple. I want you guys to pay. I'll pay along with everybody else, and it's actually cheaper. Our choices here, we can either pay to put these people in rehab and Narcan and eventually a coffin, or we can pay to train them and become active members of society. And it's actually cheaper. Again, referring back to Portugal, I think this is a world precedent that's already been set. They reduced their heroin users by 75%. Their overdose rate dropped by 85%. Those are real numbers, people, and it's a lot different than we're doing here. Our numbers quadruple every single year, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of talking. So if you elect me, I promise to do something about it. Number one priority is opioids. It affects all of us. Let's take care of it and start helping these people. Let's turn these numbers around. Again, Kevin Hoyt, Vermont State Rep, Bennington District 2-1. I appreciate your support. Thank you.